Again, good morning, everyone. So today we'll be discussing the irregular beam section. So we are analyzing non-rectangular beams. Okay, so for the analysis, um, actually it is just same with the how we analyze a rectangular beam. Same principle ang gagamitin natin. So same stress strain diagram. As you can see here, walang nagbago doon sa ating stress strain diagram. So, however, okay, there will be a minor changes lang doon sa ating magiging figure. As we can see here, the area of compression, regardless of your area here, wala naman siyang effect doon sa ating calculation. Kasi di ba, we are just considering the area of the compression block on our analysis. So, hindi nakasama dito guys yung area dito. Kahit gaano pa ka-irregular to, ang titingnan lang natin is the area of the compression block. Ito yung magpapa-irregular sa ating section. The area of compression block. Why? Kasi, last time, di ba, this is the depth of compression block. Same pa rin ngayon. And the uniform stress is always acting on that area of compression block. So now, hindi na siya sa gitna ng A mag-a-act. Wala na siya dyan sa gitna. As you can see here, hindi na ito A over 2 kasi it depends of the area of this compression block kung nasaan yung centroid nito. So all you have to do is to get the centroid of this area. So kailangan nating malaman nasaan yung gitna ng area na yan. Yung pinaka-centroid. So, yun yung magiging problem dito sa mga irregular section. To locate the centroid of that compression block so that you can identify the distance between tension and compression force, and then you still need this distance between the two forces. So, papapansin nyo, hindi na rin siya 0.85 FC prime A times B. Kasi yung A times B na yon considered for rectangle yon. However, this is no longer a rectangle, so we have to solve the area of this compression block. So actually, magiging irregular lang siya kapag irregular ang compression block, irregular section. Let's try to solve this problem. Okay, problem number 1. Same principle na ang i-apply natin for the analysis. So the triangular beam shown in the figure is subjected to the flexural moment that results in compression at the top of the beam. The concrete compressive strength is 35 megapascal and the yield strength is 420 megapascal. Check if the section is adequate to support the maximum positive bending moment. So we already have here the given dimensions of the beams. Meron na tayong dimension. Then we're just going to identify if kaya niya ba itong positive, this is positive section kasi yung mga bakal natin nasa tension side or 'di ba yung bakal natin dapat lagi nasa tension side. So since nasa baba yung ating tension, so this is for positive section of bending moment. So we have to identify the maximum positive moment of this prop beam, fix and roller. So from theory of structure, you can identify this. No, you can derive the formula for the maximum positive bending moment of a prop beam with a uniform load. So ito yung derived formula for that, no? Maximum bending moment sa hindi siya sa midspan, no? Hindi siya sa gitnang-gitna. So that is 9WL raised to 4 over 128. Positive moment yan, Okay, yung negative moment, iba pa yung value nun. Okay, but we're just need to confirm if this section can adequately resist this loading. 500 9WL raised to 4 over 128. So the maximum positive bending moment of this prop beam is 562.5. So ngayon, analyze na natin tong section na to. So we start the analysis. So FC prime 35 and 420 megapascal. Okay, so let's draw the stress strain diagram. So dito sa figure na to, the DT is already given. So we have 825 na DT. Yung D1 binigay to class for us to identify the effective depth. Kasi hindi sa ating binigay yung effective depth. So we have here D1. So let's solve the effective depth by Varignon's theorem. Same pa rin from the distance sa top, i-Varignon's natin to. So we have 2 bars times D1 plus 4 ng DT, which is 825, is equal to 6 ng magiging effective depth natin, 6 bars, no? That is total number of bars. So what will be the effective depth if we have 2 layers of reinforcement? Again, nag-varignons lang tayo, no? We identify the centroid of these rebars measured to the top, no? Doon sa pinaka-vertex, kasi we always measure the stress strain diagram to the top of your compression and to the extreme layer of tension reinforcement. Okay, so let's solve yung magiging effective depth natin. So we have 2 bars sa distance na 750 plus 4 bars at the distance of 825. Given na yung mga dimension na yun, no? Then overall bar natin is 6. So the effective depth is, okay, 800 millimeters. Okay, so ayan. So let's continue drawing the stress strain diagram. So we already have the effective depth, yun na yun, 800. And then we also need this later, yung value ng beta. If the FC prime is 35, di ba ito ang ating formula for beta. If FC prime is greater than if FC prime is greater than 28 but less than 55, okay, so the value of beta is 0.85 minus 0.05 over 7 of FC prime minus 28. Okay, so yun. So ito yung makukuha natin dyan. Let's see kung yun talaga, no? Let's check the value. So we have 0.85 minus 0.05 over 7 times the FC prime of 35 minus 28. So that is correct, no? 0.8 ang magiging value natin for the beta. Now, we need that later, no, for the value of C and A. Okay, so let's continue drawing the stress strain diagram. So this is your neutral axis where strain is equal to 0. Same pa rin siya, no? Then, dito yung strain diagram natin hanggang dulo lang ng steel centroid and centroid ng extreme layer, and this is your extreme compression. Yung pinakadulo, pinakamataas na part ng ating compression. No? Okay, and the strain at that point is 0.003. However, ito, we do not know yet the strain at this portion. This is the strain for the centroid of reinforcement. We need this value for checking if the steel centroids or steel area is yielding or not. Ito naman, we need this for the reduction factor. Okay, so this is the distance neutral axis from the neutral axis to the extreme compression sa pinakamataas. And this is dt minus C, and this is d minus C. Okay, and then we draw the stress diagram. Okay, so for this the uniform stress is still the same. So that is 0.85. Okay. So that is 0.85 FC prime. Okay. Then this is the depth of compression block, which is always smaller with the distance C. And this is your area ng compression block. As we can see here, this is no longer a rectangular area. So magiging irregular section yan kapag non-rectangular na yung area of the compression block. Okay. So, now, yung force natin dyan, hindi na siya nag-a-act doon sa ating centroid. Or rather, hindi na siya nag-a-act doon sa gitna ng A. Nandiyan niya siya somewhere here na. Okay. Nandito na yung ating compression force. Okay. Now, the compression force is 0.85 FC prime. Hindi na natin tatawaging A times B. So ang tawag na natin sa area na yon is area of the compression block. Okay. However, yung tension natin, same pa rin. AS, since this is analysis, we do not know yet if this is yielding or not. Okay. So, how do we start the analysis? Same pa rin. So, assume equilibrium, assume steel yields. So, we are going to assume steel yields. And then we perform equilibrium. Okay. Pag nag-assume tayo steel yields, we set Fs is equal to the value of Fy from C is equal to T. C is 0.85 FC prime, oops, hindi na AB, area na ng compression. Okay, so area ng compression, AC, is equal to AS. Okay, since we assume na mag-yield siya, ASFS. Now, ISFY kasi inassume natin na mag-yield. 'Di ba, ang last time, if we have rectangular section, dapat in terms of A ito. So, paano magiging A yung value ng area ng compression block? So, let's get the area of this triangle. So, we know that the area of the triangle, okay, so the area of compression block is 1/2, that is triangle. Let's say this is X, no? And then you have the height A, 1/2 X times the height A. Di ba this is A? This is A. So, 1/2 base times height. So, that will be the value of the area ng compression block. Pero gusto natin maging A lang yung unknown. So, by ratio and proportion, pwede natin siyang kunin. No? So, we have this triangle, X over A, is proportion siya sa triangle na to. Okay? So, as you can see here, this triangle is proportion siya sa triangle na yun. So, nag-base over height tayo, proportion siya sa base over height. Okay, base over height. So, kaya, ang magiging value niyan is base 900 over 900. So, therefore, X is just equal to A. So, with that, we can have now that the area of compression block is 1/2 A squared. Okay, so let's replace this. So, we have 0.85 FC prime 1/2 of A squared is equal to ASFY. So, palitan na natin, sige mamaya na, ASFY. Okay, so palitan na natin, let's substitute 0.85 FC prime. So, we have 35 megapascal, 1/2 A squared is equal to 6 times 25 square pi over 4 times the value of Fy na 420. Okay, so please solve, guys. What is the value of A? 288.374 millimeter. Okay, we're not sure if that answer is already correct. So, we have to check na yung magiging value niyan. Okay, by solving the strain kasi we assume that still yields. So, we have to solve the strain muna. So, solve natin si C by A over beta. Okay, beta is 0.8. So, the value of C is what? 360.468 millimeters. Okay, so let's store this value at C. At C, yes. Then we solve the strain ES. Okay, so that is same pa rin to. Kasi as you can see, the strain diagram natin, yun pa rin triangular pa rin So, same pa rin yung magiging derivation natin for the ES. ES over D minus C is proportion to 0.003 over C. So, walang pinagbago, guys. No? Okay. Ang nagbago lang talaga dito is the area of compression block. 0.003. So, we have D minus C. D hindi DT. All over C. So, what is your ES, guys? Okay. So, that is in 6 decimal, 0.00365 Okay, so we compare this to yielding strain, which is Fy over E. So that is 420 over 200,000 megapascal. Okay, so that is 420 over 200. Okay, so that is 0.0021. Okay. So far naman, we found out the value of S is greater than the EY. So, still yields. So, therefore, A is correct. C is also correct. Okay, so with that, we can now solve the reduction factor. Okay, by solving first the value of ET. Okay, let's solve the ET first. So, ET is 0.003 of DT. DT minus C all over the value of C. So what is the value of 80? dt natin is 825, no? 825 yung dt ha. So dt is 825 mm. Okay. So 825 minus C over C. So what is your 80? Okay. 0.0 0.0038 6607. So let's store this value at E. Okay, so ngayon, so naka-store siya sa E. Okay, so let's check kung nasaan siya. What do you think will be the classification neto? Okay, so let's check the classification. Di ba meron tayo ditong EY, tas ito 0.005. What do you think will be the classification of this section? Okay, ang EY natin is 0.002. So, lampas siya. Pero mas maliit siya sa 0.005. So, this is transition. No? Okay, so therefore, we need to interpolate or use this formula to solve the reduction factor. 0.65, I will just use the formula. 0.25 multiply to 80 minus EY over 0.005 minus EY. Okay. So now the reduction factor is equal to 0.802. Yan, store natin to sa F. Okay. So, di ba? Same na same pa rin, no? Yung ginagawa natin dito. Nagbago lang yung area ng compression block. Okay? So, now, let's solve the moment, no? So, VMN. So, it's up to you kung anong gusto nyong piliin. But for me, I guess, tension na lang yung gamitin natin, DASFY. Okay, so, in getting the value of moment. So, VMN is equal to reduction factor nakastore sa F, phi. And then, to get the force, that is, we need to identify first the distance between the two force. So, let's say this is what will be the value of this one? Okay, hindi na siya A over 2, no? So, you need to locate the centroid neto. Papunta dyan sa taas. Okay, so what do you think will be the distance? Ano ba centroid ng triangle? Papunta sa vertex. Okay, do you agree that is 2/3 of 2/3 yan ng A? Okay, kasi pababa is 1/3, no? So, pababa dito is 1/3. Ito, 2/3 of your A. Okay? So, if this is 2/3 of A, therefore, the distance between these two forces is D minus 2/3 of A. So, yung mina-minus lagi natin dito ay nakadepende kung nasaan yung centroid ng ating compression force. Hindi na siya A over 2. A over 2 siya if your area here is a rectangle. No? If your area here is a rectangle, so A over 2 ito. Pero kung hindi siya rectangle, hindi siya square, irregular section siya, you have to identify the centroid, measure to the top, para i-minus mo na lang siya doon sa distance. We now have AS, FY. FY ang gagamitin kasi nag-yield naman. And then D minus 2/3 of A. Let's substitute. So, nakastore sa F, AS, we have 6 bars. 6 times 25 square pi over 4. That is your ES. Fy is 420 multiply to the effective depth. Effective depth hindi dt. That is 800 minus 2/3 nung in-store natin. I hope in-store nyo to sa A. Okay, 2/3 of A. Then do not forget the times 10 raised to negative 6 so that your answer will be in kilonewton meters. We have 603. Ngayon, ang tanong, safe ba yan? Ang force natin, 562.5. Ang moment, ang applied moment, so far naman, safe siya. 603.121 kilonewton meters. Okay? So, same na same lang. No, yung ating magiging solution, yung flow ng solution, yung area ng compression block lang talaga ang naiiba. Okay, once we have a regular section. Okay, so another problem. Let's try to solve another problem. Calculate the maximum length of the beam shown without exceeding the moment capacity of the given section. The compressive strength of the concrete is 28 megapascal and the yield strength of the reinforcement is 420 megapascal. We need kasi yung length nito. So what we're going to do is to solve muna yung capacity nito. And then, after that, i-equate na lang natin yan doon sa maximum moment nito, factored moment. So, kung may factored moment ka na, para safe lang, no, yung capacity nito doon sa maximum moment, equal na equal lang sila. And then, if you have now your MU, or maximum bending moment, kunin mo na lang yung magiging length ng ating beam. Diba, if you have uniform load, you have uniformly distributed load, okay, so the maximum bending moment for that is WL squared over 8. For a concentrated load, that is PL over 4. By just superposition, inad lang natin sila. Yung total maximum moment niya is the addition or the sum of those WL squared over 8 and PL over 4. Yung maximum moment neto, class, equate lang natin dito sa magiging MU or sa capacity ng ating section. So that yung L natin is will not, so that we have an L wherein yung maximum moment mo ay hindi mag-exceed dito. Kasi pag sobrang haba ng L natin, tataas to. So, dapat sakto lang yung L natin na masasatisfy niya yung capacity. Okay, so bago natin problemahin yun, equate natin to. Bago yan, hindi mo magagawa yun kung wala pa tayong capacity of the section. Okay, so let's solve the capacity of this section. So another irregular section, irregular siya guys, no? Pag nakikita mo na yung compression block mo ay magiging irregular. For example, halimbawa, ganito ang iyong section, no? Ganito ang section natin. Ayan. Kasi yan. Oh, sir, ang hirap niyan. Okay. Nandito naman yung bakal, nandito naman yung tension. Magiging irregular ba to? Hindi. Kasi kung nandito yung compression block, okay, anong shape ng compression block mo? Rectangle. Hindi yan irregular section class. Kasi ito lang, naging irregular siya kung depende sa area ng compression block. Kung rectangle lang siya, wala namang kasing kwenta tong area dito kasi diba, we just neglect this area. We assume that these area are already cracks. Nag-crack na siya. So, wala na siyang bilang sa analysis. Yung compression block na lang. So, ito magiging irregular to. Itong section na to na magiging irregular siya. Okay, so, hindi ko na i-drawing yung strain diagram. Siguro stress diagram na lang ako. Diretso ko sa stress diagram. Stress diagram na, no, yung may depth of compression block. So, halimbawa, pag hindi natin alam, ang problema dito, class, hindi natin alam kung saan lalapag yung compression block natin. Hanggang dyan lang ba siya? Dito ba mag-apply yung uniform stress? Sorry, this is your A. Hanggang dyan lang ba si A? Tapos ito yung tension force natin? O baka lumampas dito si A? We are not sure kung saan siya pupunta. Kanina hindi natin naging problem yun kasi triangle ina-analyze natin. So kahit saan lumapag yung magiging depth of compression block, kahit anong height nito, laging triangle, okay, yung magiging area natin. Kahit gaano pa kalaki yung A natin. Ngayon, magkakaproblema tayo diyan. Kung ano yung magiging shape ng compression block, kapag nag-iiba-iba siya, halimbawa, pag hanggang dito lang yung depth, so ganito yung shape mo, dalawang square, dalawang rectangle. No? So, pagka lumaki pa yung compression block, ganito na siya, letter U na siya. So, how do we identify kung saan lalapag yung compression block natin? So, pwedeng mag-assume ka muna. So, assume mo muna, nandito muna yung compression block mo. No? So, assume. So, anyway, ang given natin dito, guys, C prime 28 megapascal. Meron na rin tayo dito effective depth Ito yung effective depth natin, class. 750 na yung effective depth. Ayan na, given na siya. So first, assume natin class, may dalawang assumption tayo. Assume steel yields. Assume muna natin that your A is less than 125. So dito siya papatak. Diyan yung compression block natin. Okay, so ito yung A natin. Again, di ko na-drawing yung strain diagram. Okay, yung stress diagram na lang. Yan. So this is your compression force. Dahil yung nakagiging shape dito dyan, class, is just a rectangular. So magiging madali ito. So yung force natin ay nasa gitna na ng A. Or this is A over 2. No? Tapos pag kinuha natin compression force, ay yan ay magiging 0.85 FC prime what? Paano natin kukunin yung area ng compression block na to? So how do we solve this area? Diba this is A times, anong area niyan? That is A times 200, yung total area niyan. So, A times 200. Okay? So that is your compression force and this is your tension, AS, FS. Assume muna natin na A is less than 125 and then we also assume steel yields. So wherein Fs is equal to Fy. Okay, then C is equal to T. 0.85 FC prime. Okay, A times 200. Area to ng compression block, no? Yung A times 200. Then you have AS Fy. So let's substitute 0.85 FC prime 28. A is unknown, so we have 200 is equal to AS. 3 pieces to ng 36 squared. Pi over 4 times Fy na 420 megapascal. Answer natin sa A, 169.438 millimeters. Our assumption, A should not exceed 125. Sa case na to class, that is greater than, no? Greater than siya sa 125 millimeters. So, ibig sabihin, mali yung assumption natin na hanggang dyan lang si A. So, dapat lampas pa dyan si A. Uulitin natin na yung magiging stress strain diagram natin dyan. So, what will happen to our stress strain? Wrong assumption to, no? So, wrong assumption. Yan. So, uulitin natin yung stress diagram natin. Yan. Panibago ulit yung class kasi mali yung assumption eh. So, dapat ilagay mo na dito yung magiging stress block mo. Hanggang dito na. Oops. Hanggang dito na tayo, guys. Yan. Okay. So, pag ganyan yung area mo, medyo mahirap kunin yung centroid niyan, guys. No? Yung payu eh. No? Payu. Mahirap makuha yung centroid yan. Kaya, ang technique, pwede mo tong hatiin. Di ba pag kumukuha ka ng centroid, hinahati-hati mo siya sa mga common areas. Like rectangle, hati-hati mo siya sa mga rectangle. So, pwede mo siyang ganunin. Okay? So, nakadepende sa'yo kung paano mo siya hatiin. Pwede ganito yung hati. Yan, 3 rectangle. Pwede ganyan. Pwede rin namang, kung ayaw mo ng paganyan, pwedeng paganito. O yung hati mo ng, so meron kang 3 area na alam mo yung mga centroid. Okay, ganyan. Pwede yan, no? So, ako, gagawin ko na lang, ganito yung hati. Pwede yan, ha? Gagawin ko, ganito yung hati ko, guys. Ito. Yan. So, meron akong 3 area. So, ito, dyan yung centroid niya. Ito naman, nandito. Bakit natin hinati-hati? Ihiwa-hiwalay natin yung force nila. So, that this will be your depth of compression block. So, this will be your depth of compression block. A. Yeah, this is your A. So, if that is A, ano to? Ano yung height nito? That is A. Ang height niyan ay A minus 125. So, kada centroid, may force na mag-act dyan. Isang force. Ihiwalay natin sila. Tawagin natin tong C1. Tapos, ito, dito ko na nga lang to ilagay. Yung A-125. Ito, A-125 to ah. So, yung C1 natin, kukunin natin yung force niyan, pati itong C2. Dalawa yung magiging force natin. Paghihiwalay natin sila, guys. Kasi pag pinagsama natin sila, mahirap kunin yung centroid ng dalawang force na yun. So, make it separate forces so that we can easily identify their centroids. Okay, so C1 natin and C2. Stress, uniform stress, 0.85 FC prime, area ng C1. Itong C1 na to class, pinagsama ko na itong area na ito. Pagsamahin mo na kasi parehas naman yung location ng centroid. Samahin na natin sila. Itong area na ito and then this one. So ano magiging area niyan? A times 200, di ba? So A times 200. So A times 200. Okay. Next naman, yung isa naman, 0.85 FC prime. Okay, ano naman magiging area na ito? So that is A minus 125. A minus 125 times yung width niya na 150. Okay, itong width niya na 150. Ayan. A minus 125, 150. So, and then the tension force, dito pa rin siya located. Okay, so that is AS, FS. We do not know if it is yielding or not. Anyway, ang FC prime natin dito, FC prime is 28 megapascal. FY 420 megapascal. Okay, effective depth, 750 millimeters. Beta, 0.85. Okay, so how do we start the analysis? Ganun pa rin, class. Pero hindi ka na mag-assume dito, no? Kasi automatic mag-greater than na yung A mo dyan. So, ito na lang yung unang mga assumption. Assume still yields C is equal to T. Yung C mo dalawa, C1 tsaka C2. Pag-a-addin mo lang. So, 0.85 FC prime. A times 200 plus 0.85 FC prime. Yan. Times A minus 125 times 150 is equal to ASFS. ASFY na to, no? ASFY. Yan. So let's substitute 0.85 FC prime 28. A is unknown. 200 plus 0.85 FC prime 28 times A minus 125 times 150 equals AS natin 3 pieces of 36 square pi over 4. FY natin is 420 megapascal. So with that, anong value ng A, guys? Dapat yung A mo mag-greater than 125. No? Kasi yung kanina, mali yung assumption natin eh. So, ano yung naging value ng A natin dito, guys? Yung 207.536 millimeters. Yan. Which is now correct, no? Kasi sa base sa figure natin, greater than nga siya doon sa 125. So we now check if it is yielding or not kasi we assume still yields. So we solve C. That is A over your beta, the 0.85. So what is the value of C? So C is 244.160 millimeters. Ano? 160 millimeters. Okay, store natin sa C. Solve natin si strain S, DS, 0.003 D minus C over C. So what is your ES? 0.006215, which is ang EY naman natin ay 420 over 200. So that is 0.0021. So still yield. So we can now solve the reduction factor. Solve natin si ET. So ET, anyway, ET is just equal to ES. Kasi one layer lang, you know. So that is 0.006215. Okay, what do you think will be the classification of this section? That is tension controlled section. So therefore, the reduction factor is just 0.9. Okay, pinag-iwalay natin class yung dalawang force na yan kasi mahihirapan tayong kunin yung moment ng single force compression dahil mahirap yung centroid nun. So parang kinomponent natin sila. So sabi naman kasi sa Varignones, the moment of a force is just equal to the moment of its component. Kung imo-moment natin yung dalawang force na to, equal din yan sa moment ng resultant ng dalawang force na yan. Okay, so mag-moment na tayo guys. Kunin na natin yung capacity. So kung ito ay moment natin, tension, papunta sa centroid nito, magkukuha ka pa ng centroid. Though alam mo na yung value ng A, you can get the centroid no, ng pa-letter U na ito. Okay, pero mas matagal pa yun. So pag ganito class na nahihinahati mo yung forces mo sa dalawa, wag yung tension ng i-moment mo. Yung compression force, i-moment mo sila dalawa. Yung dalawang component na yun. Okay, so i-moment natin sila isa-isa. Aalamin natin yung mga distance na to. Ito muna. Ano distance niyan? Okay, ito madali yan. Kasi yung C1, nasa gitna ng A. Okay, so ano magiging distance niyan, class? This will be D minus A over 2. Okay, D minus A over 2. Siya kasi nasa A over 2 lang to eh. Ito, nasaan ba to? What will be the distance of that force? Take note, no, this is D. Okay, this is the total depth, 750. So how do you get this distance? Nasa gitna siya ng A minus 125, no? Sa gitna. So how do you get this distance? Ito. So that will be D minus itong 125. Buwasan mo pa ng A minus 125 over 2. Okay, so ayan, binawasan lang natin ng 125. Yung D, binawasan mo ng 125, binawasan mo ng 125 over 2. Okay, so may dalawa tayong force, C1 and C2. Imo-moment natin sila isa-isa. PMN is equal to reduction factor, PMN, Phi. Ganitoy natin siya, no? Yung C1, imo-multiply natin with D minus A over 2. And then C2, multiply natin ng D minus 125 minus A minus 125 over 2. Yun. Times 10 raised to negative 6. Pag-add mo itong dalawa, kasi dalawa yung imo-moment mo eh. So medyo mahaba siya. So i-type lang natin. Okay. So reduction factor 0.9. So kung ginagawa ko, i-store ko muna yung C1 times distance. Or C1 muna. Okay. Store ko na lang muna to. Store ko to. Store ko to. Okay. So, store ko siya sa D tsaka E. So, ito ay 9, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 8, 70, 0.73. I-store ko siya sa D. 2, 9, 4, 4, 6, 5, 3. Store ko siya sa E para di malito. Okay, ngayon, nasa D siya. T 750 minus A over 2. Tapos nasa E, 750 minus 125 minus A minus 125 over 2. Okay, times 10 raised to negative 6. Okay, so do we have the same answer? 350 kilonewton meters. Okay, so yun, no? So that's the capacity of the section. So that's how we solve the capacity of an irregular section, especially may nagkakaroon ng dalawang portion or hindi siya triangle, hindi siya rectangle. So, irregular section. So, hahati-hatian mo siya into common figures so that you can easily identify its centroid. So, I hope you get no yung point ng paghati nito ng mga forces natin. Parang hiniwalay lang naman natin yung area. Actually, pwede mo naman kunin yung total force niyan. Stress times the total area. Yun yung total force. Stress times this total area. Hiniwalay natin for the lever arm. Pagkuha ng moment capacity. Okay, so this is the moment capacity now. Ang pinaka-question kasi dito, guys, is yung length ng beam. Okay, so we have to identify the length of the beam. So, i-equate lang natin yung moment dito. Kasi what we're going to do is MU is just equal to VMN. No? So, ibig sabihin, yung Mmax natin will be equal to, so Mmax, na-solve natin kanina, 729, 7, kilonewton meter na to, 729.353 is equal to W, 40. Again, this is just superposition, no? L, we do not know the L, squared over 8 plus P, L over 4. So, the length now is equal to yun, 9.445. 445 meters. Meters. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-exceed dyan, guys, no? Sa value na yan. Kasi pag nag-exceed ka sa value na yan, hindi na magiging safe yung ating beam. Ginawa mo siyang 9.5 meters. Bawal na yun. Kasi lalaki yung MU. Ito yung MU mo eh. Pag ginawa mo siyang 9.5, lalaki siya. Yung MU versus the capacity. Di ba dapat almost equal lang sila? Or dapat mas malaki lagi yung capacity doon sa ating factored moment. Okay. Pwede kang mag 9 meters dito, safe yun. Pag 9 meters lang, to mas maliit yung MU natin versus doon sa capacity.